V8 veterans, we are back with the V8 Vets tonight, round number 1 from Belle. It is the Belle 200 as we kick off a brand new season of the V8 Vets. We're doing Split 2 tonight. We are endeavouring to get ourselves a replay file from Split 1, but a few issues in the background, so any of those drivers in Split 1 who feel like they may have a good quality replay file, get it across to Ben ASAP. So we can hopefully tomorrow night go live with Split 1. So we're doing it in reverse tonight after Split 3 was broadcast last night. It is Split 2 tonight and round number 1. Let's take you straight down to the racetrack now. And there's a bit of your information. Some of the past winners here. Jamie McKnight, he's won a couple of times back in Season 1, Season 3. Steve Vargas, Season 5. Sean Kelly, Wayne Reynolds, Greg Favell and Reg James, a couple of previous winners across this fantastic race circuit. Here as we hit it up, Detroit, Belle Isle. Let's take you down now and have a quick look. Here's the flyover, and there's the stadium, baseball stadium there, the big Ford factory as well. And tonight's race, it will be a 200-kilometer race around this circuit, 53 laps in length. Let's go straight down to the grid now as the drivers start to line up, and Simon Heddershield has got himself pole position in this Split 2 race. Tim Harris will start alongside him. Then it's Roderick Hollis starting from P3 on the grid. Reali out of 4. Viger and Weston with Crosby and Mikowski. Jason Mikowski. Great to see him back in P8 for MMS eSports as well. Barrage and Goosey, your top 10. Sipple and Dipatito running out the top 12 tonight. 13th on the grid. Little Caesar, he's back as well. Fantastic. With Roy Clark, McMillan and Garbutt down there as well. Then you've got Griffiths, Quain, McMillan and Borelli, your top 20. Pitt and Munro, 22nd on the grid with Healy and Reg James, your top 24. Big grid of cars this season. Blanchard, 25th on the grid with Monday, Christian and Boyce. Then you've got Stephen Gratch down in 29th. Dave Bordock will start from 30th. Thanks, Dave, for the replay file. Kelleher, 31st with Peck alongside. Latham and Lecomte down in 34th on the grid with Todd Martin and Braden O'Loughlin in 36th. As we head to the very back of the order now, it is Peter Latham starting in 32nd place, Wayne Lecomte in 34th, and it's Todd Martin, O'Loughlin down there in 36th, Hayes, Sibra, Lofthouse, Buckland, Dunn, and Scotty Van Loon down there as well. Let's take you to the grid. We'll crank up the sound of these V8 Supercars and hopefully get set to go racing anytime soon. So you can just see the final few drivers just starting to load in now, and race control giving a few last moments of instruction to what is probably quite a bunch of nervous drivers with a brand new season. We've got a lot of new faces as well, some returning drivers that have been away for a few seasons, and they're back now to hopefully enjoy the spoils of what is such a well-run, fantastic series. Big thanks to all the organisers that have got it underway once again. Over 120 drivers registering for season number 12. Hello, Will Wilson. Hello, Keith Logan. Everyone else tuning in for this broadcast. Tag a few friends. Make it an interesting night for all of us. 200 kilometres about to get underway. You'll hear the revs rise shortly. We'll wait for the green light, and you'll see, hopefully, Simon Heddershield get himself a nice little break from pole position. He is, he's claimed the first little high point of the season at round 1. The revs rise. Here we go for a race start. Race 1. Round 1 of season number 12. Nice start for the front row. They got away very, very well as they scream past us down towards the opening corner. Over the curb cam, it looks like Heddershield has got away in front, and he's done very well as they now head down this big, long straightaway for the first time. They're a bit compressed in the midfield there, 3 wide already as we head down the straightaway, but Heddershield out in front. It's Hollis having a little bit of a look there in the juiced up racing car. Goosey, someone's run wide there. I think it may have been Barrage in the M1 car. It was Crosby. Ran a little bit wide through there. Barrage was also getting the squeeze. Maybe it was Barrage. As Caesar also attacks him for P13 at the moment. Heddershield out in front, though, already an early gap. Reali dropping back a position. Weston just behind Mikowski as well, who's made up 2 spots off the start. Jace Mikowski back in true form, and it's great to see him up there already, picking places off in the opening lap. Dibatito also made up 3 spots in the opening few corners. Moves himself up into the top 9. Very, very nice work indeed, but how good is this looking out in front at the moment for the fully floored racing number 53. Simon Heddershield fully floored out in front, and he's fully flooring all his opposition at the moment on this opening lap. 9/10 of a second as he comes through the final part of the lap. Now Matt's in the house, Shervo as well. Hello, Anita, and everyone else tuning in to watch this first round of the V8 Vets Season 12. We are doing Split 2 tonight if you're just joining us. get involved in the conversation and enjoy this one. It's going to be a ripper. Troy Sipples holding on to 11th place at the moment as they finish lap 1. Heddershield by over a second, does a 1:32 standing start there. Nice time. In behind him, you can see there's Mikowski ahead of Weston. Looking back further, good little battle between Griffiths and McMillan. There's a little battle pack here forming up behind. I think it's Quaney 57. It is. So Quain 57 at the front of this little crew of cars. McMillan, Griffiths, another McMillan. We've got Shannon and Maddie out there. We may end up doing first initials for you tonight just to be helpful, although it's going to change. I've got it all preset now. Let's just try it and see if it does chop and change. So you'll see there's the initials for the McMillan brothers out there tonight. Further back in the pack, Will Munro on the back of Simon Pitt, with then Christopher Blanchard just wagging the tail. Craig Healy behind him, Fletcher Christian as well, then Boyce, Gretsch, Kelleher, and who's just gone around? Dave Garbutt is facing the wrong way, and this could be an early safety car. He's just behind the tree there, the chopper cam at the moment, shadowed by the tree. Oh, he's going to keep it going. Oh, that was almost an unsafe rejoin, but Dave Garbutt will do a little flick spin around and hopefully get back into the field of play. As we go back to your lead driver at the moment, looking back, there's the gap to Tim Harris, who's holding on to second. The top three have so far held position in this race. So Heddershield, Harris and Hollis, your top three. Rick Viger at the moment sitting in P4. Fantastic job by Rick. And thanks once again to Rick, as we see a fastest lap of the race, a 1:30.1 from your race leader. But thanks to Rick again for giving me those stats that he does without fail every week. And here's a little bit of the data for tonight. 53 laps. Rick's maximum fuel burn was about 3.07 litres per lap with a starting tank of 50 litres. Gives him a range of about 16 laps. The fuel capacity of 77 litres gives a range of 25 laps. So the critical laps tonight, lap 3 and 28. We're on lap 3 now. So we may see some drivers start to make pit stops on lap 28, being the earliest lap you can fuel it to bring it home to the flag. So thank you, Rick, once again for the data. There's your race leader, Simon Heddershield, out in front. So we pick up Troy Sipple. He's got a different livery on that car this time around. Pecky Performance Racing Machine, looking very, very good. And behind him you've got Halil Caesar, 13th he started. Is that an unlucky number? Well, we'll find out. He's currently 13th after starting 13th and all over the back currently of Chris Barrage. So we're right on board here with Halil. TSM Cooler Master Racing entry. I think just biding his time at the moment. It is such a tricky racetrack to overtake on here at Belle Isle. A lot of this single line, follow the leader, and just staying within a car length of this moment. Roy Clark's in behind him as well, the new Banter Alliance Racing team, looking fantastic out there. 14th at the moment for Clarkey, and then a gap back to this train of cars then with Quain, McMillan, Griffiths, McMillan, Monday, Pitt, then Healy, Fletcher Christian, Glenn Boyce. Further back is missing the rear wing off that car, so he's come together with a fence in the Spaghetti Arms Racing. Maybe he had a bit of a moment with some Spaghetti Arms. Then you got Gretsch, Kelleher, Latham, Dave Baldock, our replay file legend, sitting in 27th at this moment, as down the inside goes Mark Peck. And Pecky, ooh, that was close, Peck. I love the new delivery on these Pecky Performance Racing cars. They look incredible. Check out the graphics. Oh, that's next level. I think I've just found my new favourite livery. Check that out. Pecky is absolutely beaming out there. That's a great looking race car, so we'll be keeping an eye out for them. Heddershield at the moment, 1.7 seconds. He continues to eke out that lead. So if you're here to see someone in particular, let me know. I'll try and give him some airtime as we watch Hollis now. Brand new to this series in the Juiced Frog Leap Juiced Racing team. He's now starting to get a little bit interested, I think, in the back of Tim Harris here. So let's just ride with Hollis and let's see if he can make a move. They get a little bit excited there through the first little chicane, the little right-left flop. And he took a lot of the curb, a bit of grass with him as well. Did Harris, and Hollis followed him. So 200 kilometres, it is one of the shorter races for this season, but you do not want to throw it all away in the opening couple of laps. And we're seeing Hollis just hold back slightly. Gary Buckland, unfortunately, I think has just crashed. Just trying to see where he's at. By the way, we don't get replays too often with a replay file, so we do endeavour to catch as many of the incidents as we can, but we do miss a few, so I'll try and let you know when they do happen. As Halil now drops back to 21st place. He's gone a little bit backwards now from 13th, dropping 8 positions so far in the race, all over the back of Craig Healy at the moment though, as he just jostles for position here, trying to make and recover from what he's lost out so far. More towards the front, this is Jason Dibattito. This is the fringe of the top 10, inside the top 10 I should say. Jason Dibattito and Crosby just at the moment just battling over 9th place, 9th and 10th, with Troy Sibyl just outside the top 10. You've got Goosey just in front of them. It's quite a congested field. It's starting to spread out at the front, but if you look at the pack behind from, say, second place back, it is a very big train of cars. And like I say, I was just trying to point out the importance of keeping your nose clean in this opening part of the race, making sure you don't carry damage through to the first pit stop. And that first pit stop could come any time now between lap 3, and you would think, well, the fuel burn will take you through to around lap 16 on the opening tank level. So Will Wilson's here to see Dave Bordock. Well, we can show you as much to Dave Bordock as you like. And right now he's holding out 29th place, one spot ahead of Todd Martin and Wayne Lecomte. Jason Dunn's back there as well in the Old Mate and Sons liveried car. Hayes and O'Loughlin and Gary Buckland did drop all the way back to 35th place, with Reg James just then behind him. Shervo saying, "You will have to learn me how to save the replay file, Dave Bordock." I don't think my file submission made the mustard. I didn't download it, to be honest with you, because it was quite a small file compared to what it should be. So if all else fails, I'll download that one as well, but everything we got so far was not printing all 63 positions available, which we need. So it means we get too many breaks in the coverage. If we can't get ourselves a full replay file for tomorrow night for Split 1, unfortunately we'll have to not be showing Split 1 this week, which would be a true shame. So let's hope one of the drivers out there does print all the cars and save it for us, as we see Dibattito and Crosby fighting over this 9th place. Sher's in the house. Hello, Sher. John Lee's in the house too. Says, "G'day, Luke. Have you got COVID again? Your voice is different." I've just come off the back. Oh, big contact there in the background. Crosby's in the fence. Darren Crosby. Oh, there's more carnage. Crosby's in trouble. We got a blown engine there as well. One of the WKP. That was McMillan into the side of him. It's Quaney 57 with the blown motor. And this could be our first safety car of the night, because that is one stricken car on the side of the racetrack. So Huddersfield out in front. Just to answer you, John, I've just come off the back of 2 big sold-out concerts with the band that I'm touring with. So I sung my heart out.
Can you have a look at that, please?
Sung my heart out last night and the night before, and I've got no voice left. So I'm going to sound a bit croaky throughout the next 4 weeks while this is going on, no doubt. Hello, Greg Holmes says, "Keep an eye on the McMillan boys." Well, we just saw one there absolutely get clobbered, so let's have a quick look at the replay as race controller asked to have a look at it. So there was a car out of shape. The M1 car went across the grass. Now, is that where it started? No, okay, well, that someone went wide then into the fence, and from then on it was the typical chain reaction of events you see here at Belle Isle, and
unlucky, man.
McMillan was very unlucky there to not be able to avoid that spinning car, and the blown motor for Quaney 57 will mean his race is, well, effectively run and done. All right, safety car out on the racetrack, and there it is. We've got the new safety car for this season, and driven tonight by, I think it's Martin Lofthouse in the car tonight. So Martin Lofthouse doing the duties in the safety car. He's just picked up the leader and cruising around at this stage. It's got some new paintwork on that car. We might try and get a look at that. What is it? LGC Images, I think it is, for the safety car here.
Thanks, Wayne. I'm going in too, so let's go past.
So a new safety car for this season by the looks of things. So we got through to this lap now, and I'm seeing a lot of cars in the pit lane. So obviously lap 3 was the opening of the pit window. A lot of cars have now dived into the pits. The ones that haven't is the top 5. So as Heddershield, Mikowski, Sipple, Caesar and Peck, they missed a little bit of an opportunity there. Hollis did jump into the pits from P3, so he may just elevate himself a little bit higher. So that is good. See how he ends up. Obviously, once the others have to pit, McKnight's in the house. Hello, Jamie. So Heddershield's just holding on to obviously the lead, but if he was to pit now, it would drop him a long way back. So under full course caution, this 200-kilometre race gives the drivers just a chance to rest a little bit now. So the drivers a chance to rest and think about strategy, and maybe this top 5 is probably wishing they had dived into the pits. Caesar was just having a look at the pit entry there, but like I say, with the field now compressed, it's going to cost you so much time if you were to dive in at this stage. You can see everyone's tucked up behind one another. Someone in the lane there, that was Michael Hayes, just disappeared off to left of screen, so he's gone in for a stop under caution, which will basically drop him to the back of the field. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers just clutching in there, saving some fuel as we look back with a fully floored racing car.
Just had a screen come up on the screen. Oh, good, man.
So under full course caution here, lap 9 of 53, V8 Vets. You're watching split number 2, round number 1.
Race will go green at the end of this lap. No way. Quite until you cause the safety car, or you're racing for the safety car, you will not get a wave around.
Right sideways.
Simon, you will have control of the field. Safety car will accelerate out of turn 11, which is the tight right-hander out of the south section. I will let you know when the safety car is in the pit lane and we are clear for green.
Yes. So race restart procedure being just told there by race control. Doing a fantastic job. The safety car should disappear off into the distance now, you would think, and
Please maintain 80 kph.
the lead driver has to maintain that 80 kph until ready to go, and we'll get back into some full speed racing here. So lap 9 into lap 10. Top 5 drivers did not stop for a pit stop. They'll be praying for a second safety car now, that's for sure.
Taking it on the controller, and we're clear for green.
Let's get set to go back to racing here. So lap 10 of 53, 200-kilometre race tonight. Heddershield so far has looked the goods. Can he extend now with Mikowski on his tail from the restart? He's holding them back. He's making this quite a long wait. So he could have gone any time now, but he's going to have to go soon because they're almost at the control line, which they are now. So super late restart. Has that compacted the field a little bit in the background? Just trying to see if it caught a few people out. I think everyone's got through okay. But there was a couple of drivers, I think, just complaining about just having to hold back. But it is part of the rules. It is up to the lead driver to go when he's ready to go. We've got contact in the background with, I think, Rick Viger involved in that. Drops back a few positions. Clark in the background as well. There's Scott Weston dumbing, having a look to the outside of Dibatito. Thinks better of it. Behind him, Barrage, McMillan, Griffiths fighting there with Simon Pitt. Mr. Pitty Pitt. All over the back of him is Craig Healy and Monday as well. Then the Spaghetti Arms racing driver, Glenn Boyce.
Race control, car 97, I made
Also right there. Now I'm just... Looks like we've got another safety car here. Straight up, so... They're definitely all backed off. We're just waiting to hear what's going on and if Lofthouse is going to be out of the pit lane again. The safety car is standing by at the end of the pit lane, so... They say cautions breed cautions, and it looks like that has happened right now on what is lap 10. So we didn't even get a full lap of green racing there on the restart. We will talk to a few drivers tonight, hopefully, and it'll be a nice way to just introduce this new season. It is, like I said, it's a massive one. There's a massive list of new drivers that have joined in the ranks.
Third car's currently at the exit of turn 2.
Over 120 drivers registered across 3 splits, so 45 in the top split, 40 in split 2, and 40 or so in split 3 with some reserve drivers as well. Jamie likes to, he's wondering if there's any green flag racing. Oh, we got 8 or so laps in at the start, or 7 laps until the first caution.
Go past me, Dave. I've got to go on the pits.
I'll tell you what,
Good, Michael.
it wasn't until I started commentating I noticed how sore my voice was after the last few nights, so I do apologise for sounding a bit croaky, a bit awful. We could adjust things and make it
Sound a little bit higher. How's that sound? Is that better, guys?
Oh, God. Yeah, a couple of big nights.
Can all cars please move to the left-hand side of the track? Cars that will be waved around will move to the right.
So they're going to wave some cars around. We're just listening to race control from him in here while I might go grab myself a soother. Have I been on the piss? Oh, mate, I've got some Jack Daniels here tonight. Actually, I've got to get through it. Like I said, I've hardly slept in 3 days. And I'm psyched. I was psyched up for a split 1 race tonight, the split 2 tomorrow night. Then an hour and a half of wasted time trying to get replay files to work and a bit frustrated. My frustration walked me to the fridge and cracked a bit of Jack Daniels. So here we are. How's that? A bit dusty. Oh, mate, I'm dusty as. Dusty as Mr. McKnight. Maybe you'll come and commentate for us for a little while here, as we'll see who's first into the green room tonight to have a chat for split 2, season number 12. Lubrication, yeah, Jack Daniels is the best sort of lubrication, that's for sure. So Hirschfield out in front, he's looked good. Like I said, for that first part of green flag racing, he pulled that 2 seconds or so lead. What's probably going to be his downfall though is not pitting, and I'm surprised he didn't do it under this second safety car. This was sort of a giveaway after missing the first one, to then not jump in and straight away pit and redeem himself on the second one. He's had to go all commitment to go long now. So lap 16, maybe extended to 18 or so with these 2 safety car periods. It means that possibly he's going to get drop way down the order when he does finally have to come in. Everyone that stopped on lap 7 at the first safety car will now be able to extend well into lap 30, mid 30s, I would say. So safety car in at the end of this lap. Let's have a look at a few movers and shakers. Mark Peck's one of them. He hasn't stopped though, but he's up 27 positions. Peter Latham's done well. He's jumped up 11 positions in the Racecraft Shadow Racing. It's great to have Racecraft back on as a sponsor for this season as well. Big thanks to them. And who else has moved up? Rick Sibra has moved up 14 spots. The Frog Leap Juice Racing team's going very well tonight. Jason Dunn towards the back. He's jumped up 13 positions since the start for Old Mate and Son, so that's nice. This is split 2 show. That's why Jamie's not in this one. He doesn't bring himself down to split 2. He's a dedicated split 1 driver, Mr. McKnight.
Simon Dennis will put you will have control of the field.
It's reserve grade, he says.
And the field at the end of turn 11.
So here we go. Porsche safety car should extend in a second, and then I wonder if Hedeshire will try something a little bit different this time on the restart. Whether or not he holds them back, pegs them back to the line again. I think that actually created more pressure for himself doing that. Mikowski was able to attach himself to the back and get ready to go. This is on board now with Jace Mikowski, MMS eSports. He's had a few seasons off. Great to see him back. So you can hear the clutch in there, just saving as much fuel as humanly possible. The Porsche safety car's out of the way. Let's have a listen to race control. They're going to announce we're ready to restart.
Safety cars in the pit lane, you're clear for green.
Alright, clear for green. Let's watch Hedeshield this time, see if he floors it earlier, if he waits. We're on board looking back in the fully floored racing. We need it fully floored, my friend. And there he goes now. So this time much earlier. He gets on it and we head down towards turn 1. Mikowski and so over the curb cam. Have a listen. Field of V8 Supercars for this season 12 as we look at your race leader already pulling a 1 second margin. Halil Caesar sitting in third as well, looking good up 10 spots. Then Troy Sipple in the new Pecky Performance Racing livery for season 12. It's a ripper. It's eye-boggling. That is one eye-boggling race livery on the Pecky Performance Racing car. He's got Mark Peck tucked up behind him as well, squadron leader. Then Roderick Hollis in the Frog Leaped Juice Racing team, 6th place at the moment. He has stopped those. So to his advantage, 3.8 seconds off the lead, but the top car that has stopped in this race. And looking in a great position. Let's ride on board with him for a moment as he tucks up behind the 2 Pecky Performance cars. Now I'm thinking probably laps 17, 18, they'll need to stop, and that'll put Hollis into the lead. Okay, here's a comment from Spike Goddard. What are your thoughts about the F1 drivers complaining about bouncing up and down? Too bad they engineered it wrong. Raise the ride height and carry on. You think sim racing has encouraged more people in real life to do real life track days racing, or sim is enough to scratch the itch? 2 nice questions there. I enjoy it. Some good questions, Spike. Let's try and let's just talk about the first one first of all. We'll throw it out to everyone over on YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. What are your thoughts on the porpoising, the bouncing? Do you think it's something that should be directed technically out of the sport, or should those that have the issue, basically, I think Martin Brundle, I was watching a bit of FP2 prior to this tonight, and he basically said, well, the FIA can get involved. They can black flag cars that are deemed unsafe. So if the Mercedes-Benz is hurting the drivers, giving them back issues, on safety grounds, that car could be black flagged, and it's then left up to the team to try and sort the issue out. To me, that is how it should be. They were given the regulations a long time ago for this season of Formula One. Some of them got it right, some of them got it wrong. The ground effects obviously was always going to be cars running low clearances, but it will be interesting to see how it's delegated, how it's played out, and who will, I guess, win out from this whole situation. Obviously the Mercedes looks terrible at the moment, but it has been the car to beat for, what, 7 or 8 years in the hybrid era. And it just goes to show even the best can get it wrong. That team doesn't make mistakes, was the quote. Well, they've made a shocker this season.
Race control. Get rid of that one, mate. 79. Cover that one.
Jamie says, I drive an AMG and I'm filthy with Mercedes. It's bullshit. It's cheating. There you go. Okay, so 4.4 seconds. Hedershield's already pulled that margin. Now, my question is Mikowski that far off the pace here? Or is he just trying to hold back and save fuel, knowing that he's put himself on a bit of an awkward strategy here? Caesar's keeping up with him nicely. He hasn't been able to overtake, but we'll jump on board with Halil. And let's see how far he's going to push this. Will Wilson's, yes, we are talking about F1 there for a moment. A bit sidetracked from the V8s tonight. The other question for a lot of you guys budding race enthusiasts out there from Spike was, do you think sim racing has encouraged more people to do real life track days or racing days, or is the sim scratching the itch enough? So for you guys that love your sim racing, do you still get the itch to want to get in a real race car? Now, to me, there was always an itch to drive a real life car. The sim has been fun, but if I had money and time, I would love to have an Aussie racing car or something similar to be able to go do some track days, but that's never going to happen, with the time factor especially. So there's your two questions. Gibberish. Hey, I can't help it if you're too slow to keep up with the conversation, Will. Get on it, come on, you've been here long enough now. The conversation moves quickly. Jamie says, I think it's made a lot more motorsport fans, that's for sure, the sim world, yeah. I agree with that too. As we watch, we'll stay with this battle for a second. I think this is where it's at. Halil just backed it into the corner. He'll lose some momentum there. And Troy Sippel also now closes right up in that Pecky Performance Racing car. So Halil's punishing the tyres here. I reckon Mikowski is holding back, and Halil may be getting a little bit frustrated. See, he snatches a break again there, and then the back end walks sideways as he crabs it down the straightaway. So he's probably a lap now off jumping in the pits. Maybe just cut your losses and come in now with maybe a lap or so left of fuel in the car. Matty Park says, yeah, takes the edge off, but nothing feels like a real racing car yet. It is great that you can jump in and race at exotic racetracks all around the world, though, without leaving your lounge room. That's the one positive about sim racing. Is I see Roderick in the background there. He's just moving up into 5th outright now, so he's leaped ahead of Mark Peck, who's on that alternate strategy. Here is the pit strategy, just for those that are interested. So you can see the top 4 yet to stop. 6th place, Pecky has stopped. Hasn't stopped either. Everyone else around in 5th place, and then 7th down to the bottom. They've all stopped at that first safety car, which puts them on a split strategy now with the guys in front. That just looked like Troy Sippel clipped the fence there. Not sure if he did or not, but that was very close to the fence. So lap 17, surely we're going to see a lot of these cars now into the pits, as we see Hollis down the inside now, moves himself up into P4 and then loses it. Regathers it up. Now we'll have Peck go back, Sippel back down the inside. Was there a little bit of contact there? I think there was a tiny bit between them. Now he does get through, so Hollis up into 4th. Sippel probably not wanting to get too much in on that fight, knowing that they're actually not really racing each other due to the strategy change. Thanks, Sean Leyland. Great to have you watching as well, man. Keep tuning in. Am I coming to Adelaide, says Keith. I'll be in Adelaide, yes, sometime next month. So, yeah, getting around. Brisbane next Saturday. Melbourne the week after. Melbourne the week after that as well. Then Adelaide, Perth. Then I shall lay down and die. If you can tell, my voice tonight is shot. Lack of sleep is a nasty thing. As we watch 6.4 seconds. Now, this is a case of this guy was probably right on the fringe of split 1. Are we going to see someone like this wipe the floor in split 2 all season long? And I wonder what they'll end up doing if it is the case. So at the moment, his lap speed is well over a second, I think, quicker than everyone out there. Let's have a look at the best lap times that have been put down so far tonight. And it's a 129.6 for your race leader, a 130.6 for P2. We've got a 130.1 there for Hollis in 4th. Remember, he's effectively leading the race. Maybe that's why Heddershield is trying to build this margin, because he knows he's got to take that pit stop shortly, which will pop him back into the mid-pack, which is going to be quite awkward considering the pace he does have up his sleeve. Obviously a second quicker than the majority of the cars around him. Once he does get back into that, say, 25th, 26th position when he comes out of the pits, he'll once again be with drivers that are lapping in the higher 1 minute 32s at the moment. So Caesar is in the lane, so he's coming for his pit stop on lap 19, which makes me think the other drivers that have not stopped yet, Heddershield, Mikowski, and the two Pecky Performance Racing cars, they're going to have to be in next lap surely. No nose beers for me, Jamie. I work a job that, my day job, I get drug tested all the time, so I'm a clean cut, very clean cut person these days. Supercarts are fun and scary fast, says Matty Parker. Yeah, I actually love supercarts. Jamie reckons I don't sound munted at all. That's good. So let's watch this entry. I think we'll jump on board with Simon here just to see how hard he attacks the pit lane at the moment. It's a gap back to P2 of 8.4 seconds, and you'll see shortly he'll come around this corner, then he'll start to square up towards the right hand side of the racetrack to bring it into the pit lane. If he does come in this lap, which he is, then hard on the brakes. You've got to slow it down to the pit lane speed. He squeebles his way into the pits there, onto the limiter just in time, and then we'll roll down the pit lane as Mikowski also fires it in from P2. That'll put Hollis back into the lead. Now what this has done with those cars pitting, it means Roderick has got himself quite a buffer over Rick Viger, who's in P2. That gap is 3.3 seconds to the top two drivers. In behind them, Tim Harris now up into third, and Riali at top four. So things have now moved around with everyone now into the first stop completed, with a lap difference of about 13 laps between those on the later stopping strategy and those that stopped at the first safety car. Great action shots there as we see them up against the walls here at Detroit Belle Isle for this opening round, as we start to work our way towards half race distance. There's a couple of the old mates and sons drivers just battling here. In fact, there's three of them together. So Stephen Gresh, the first, in a line with Fletcher Christian and Darren Goosty behind. Up the road from them, I think that may have been Monday who just clipped the fence. There was a puff of dust. Yeah, look at the damage on the left-hand side of his car. Rick Sibber behind him. Further back, it's so close now between these drivers. Look at the overlap as Barella tries to catch up to Reg James. Then you've got Goosey and Christian fighting over this inter-team challenge. I wonder what's being said across the radio. They're asking each other to hold station, or they're just going to send it out in front. The gap's come down slightly now as Rick Feiger just chases down the race leader, Roderick Hollis. So, and way back in the pack, here's Michael Hayes, Scorpion eSports, just running wide. Troy Sipple goes through 33rd. So the reason I went back here is to find Jace Mikowski, Troy Sipple, and Heddershield's up in 24th. He's just gone up into 23rd now. So this is how far back it's thrown these drivers that did choose to stop later. Well outside the top 20 and a lot of work to do now. They'll get a little bit of a reprieve once the other drivers come in for their second stop. But it's going to be a hard afternoon now. Christopher Blanchard's car, doesn't that look nice? The Pecky performance, the wildness of the big eye, the boggly eyes on the side, but how good does the blue look? I love that shade of blue, it's beautiful. Christopher Blanchard in the Pecky Performance Racing 669, currently running 24th place, so up one position. Our biggest mover and shaker tonight, Peter Kelleher, for Synergy Sim Racing out of the Jamie McKnight stable. And he's currently up 24 positions inside the top 7. Car looks very reminiscent of a Jamie McKnight livery, black and red. So the next driver up the road for him is the WKMP car of Shannon McMillan, sitting in 6th place. Now his brother was involved in that incident earlier on, unfortunately. Finds himself much further back. Matty's down in 31st place. Good to see him still running, pushing on, carrying on after towing to the pit lane. There's Barrage bouncing off another car there and running back into 8th place. Now Simon Pitt's done well tonight as well, P10, which becomes P11 as Scott Weston goes through, but Pitt at the moment up 10 spots. Also sporting some damage. It's pretty much a trademark of this race circuit, isn't it? If you haven't wiped both liveries off both sides of the car by this stage, you're not trying hard enough. Right, like I said, I'm going to grab myself a quick soother and try and get this voice back into some sort of audible pleasantry. Give me 2 minutes. Let's crank the sound up here. Let's enjoy a lap on board with this man, because he is fighting his way through the field. Let's jump on board with Simon Heddershield and crank it up. So 22nd place for Simon. Good run of green flag racing, now lap 25 of 53. Oh, a car in the fence though, just I've said that, that's Monday. Matty Monday's stoved it into the wall down there for the Fishy Motorsport team. And I reckon he's got a bit of damage there. He's just snapped out sideways. He doesn't go to the pits, so he carries on as Barella does stop for his second stop now. But that's plenty of damage, isn't it, for Matthew? He's going to have to think about probably fixing that next time around. He's got Dipatito closing in quickly on the back of him as well. Gap at the front, pushed back out to now 2.9 seconds between Hollis and Viger, and Tim Harris within 3.7 now of the lead. As we see Gary Buckland just back there as well. In front of him, Quaney's carrying some of that damage from earlier on. And Hillel sees a 27th place. Has to get onto it now to try and make inroads. We're expecting the lead driver. He stopped on lap 7. So according to the figures I was given by Rick Viger, you would get roughly around 25 laps out of a full tank of fuel. So around lap 32, we expect to see these guys coming to make their second and final pit stops. Scott Weston is fighting back. He dropped a few positions at the start of this race. He's now got back into 10th. Got Robbie Griffiths in front of him for Fishy Motorsport as well. I think Robbie on debut in this series. It's great to see so many new faces, new drivers coming in. Another driver new to this series, Stephen Gresh. It was interesting to watch the pre-qualifying times when they had to filter their way into the splits. Some people putting a lot of laps in, others just going out there and sticking a few in. There's Reg James. Oh, was that a car sideways? It was header shield. So he's put a lot of pressure on himself with that strategy. Oh, we got a big dust up now. That's is that Crosby again? It is. It's Crosby and is it Reg James? It is. So those two drivers in a bit of strife there. Crosby's trying to do a quick flick spin in the background. See the tyre smoke. He's got it going, but he's now dropped to 29th with that mistake. So those two have just got together, and unfortunately, it's cost them both plenty of track position, plenty of positions in the race. Let's give our race leader some time because he's been circulating in the mid to low 1 minute 30s out there. He just did a 1:30.88, but he's 1 minute 30.1 his best time at the moment. He's doing a nice job and he's keeping that gap around 2.8 seconds to Rick Viger and still 3.3 to Tim Harris. He goes past the car there, then runs a bit wide. There's Tim Harris, another driver brand new to this series, locked on lads. Racing car, and a P3 for him would be incredible tonight. A good way to start off a new season with points straight away in the bag. We're right on board with Tim now. Love the colours, the logo they've got and everything. It's very good. Quaney and Wayne Lecomte have both had a crash too at this stage. I think Michael Quain is dropping back. Oh, so there's Wayne Lecomte. He's in the fence too. Now he was a lap car. He spins it round and drops back to 37th place. So Quaney's been in the wars, hasn't he? That's, I think, the third time he's been involved in something so far tonight. Round 1, lap 27 of 53. We'll get some, hopefully, some interviews in shortly. We've got Halil here, so we'll grab Halil in for a quick chat and see how he's going. It's great to see him back racing in the V8 Vets after what's been a couple of seasons off. Halil, welcome, man. And it's like I said, it's a pleasure to see you back for season 12. What are your thoughts so far after round 1?
Absolutely, it was a blast being back and amongst it all with the boys. It was silly mistakes and not pitting when I should have pitted and making other silly mistakes. Just behind the wheel was a bit rusty, but yeah, and all, it was a great night.
Talk us through that not pitting onto that first safety car. We don't want any spoilers to spoil who wins the race, but just tell us that first safety car period. Obviously, you had a chance to pit. In the past, we've spoken about generally in this series, if there's a safety car, you should pit as early as you can. But what was the thought process of staying out?
Well, firstly, my crew chief wasn't around at the time, so I was trying to, just ride it out as quick as I could and as long as I could before he come in. But yeah, I had a strategy without him being there. It was just, regardless of safety cars or what, stay out, run it dry. I was trying to see if there'd be another safety car, which there was, but it was too close to basically me already been out. Basically, restart the race and then go back out again. So it was just like no point coming in, just go with the strategy and then hoping that towards the end of my strategy there would be a safety car again, possibly, because safety cars breed safety cars, and you take a gamble with it, I guess, sometimes, but probably won't be making that mistake in the future.
Yeah, we just got our third safety car now, so we're seeing the race leader pit, which will probably help these guys out as well. But it's a racetrack where you're always going to have some safety cars. Definitely Belle Isle. It's it's one of those tracks where it's concrete everywhere. I think there's not a car out there without a mark on it. But yeah, so I guess you learn from tonight, and then you go, right, next time, if you're within the window, just pit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, hopefully my crew chief will be back next week, so we'll give it a good crack next week. So I'm looking forward to the next round because I got some unfinished businesses there with the Le Mans track. If you remember, my hands went up and I had to drive through. So I've got some very unfinished business because I actually was doing all right that night. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and tell us about, obviously, Split 2 for you for this series. How far off Split 1 were you? What was the process of getting yourself,
If you can give me 2 secs, Luke, I'm still at work, so I just got to serve these customers. I'll be 2 seconds.
No worries, mate. No, all good. All good, buddy. Right, we'll let Halil do what he's got to do there, and it's great that he's come for a chat. We'll be back with him shortly. I'll pop him into the green room until he's ready to come back. So, safety car here on lap 28. We're just rolling around now. Hollis got in and out, maintained track position. Now, that's key for him because basically the top guys didn't really change. So, Hollis, Viger, Harris, Riali came in. Caesar's got himself back into 5th, but once again has yet to take the second stop. So, as we just discussed, that could, that's going to play on him again because the field will compact now under caution. And if he does choose to pit, it's going to mean he falls right to the rear of the field. So maybe missed the train a little bit there. I'm just trying to see if there's any other drivers that have yet to make the second stop. I think he's the only one, Halil. So Roy Clark's moved up into 6th place, which is great for Roy. That puts him up there, basically a net 5th position once Halil stops. So with his 2 stops done and out of the way, that's great. And behind him, Shannon McMillan in the same boat. He's got himself up into 7th, which is a net 6th place. Barrage, Pitt, Weston, and then Robbie Griffiths for Fishy Motorsports will sneak inside the top 10 once Halil goes in as well. So it's all starting to pan out now with about 24 laps to run. But it's looking good for this guy, isn't it? With probably the only car that could challenge him on lap time at this stage is well down the order. The 1 minute 29.6 for Simon Heddershield. He's in 17th place. So a long, long way back. Right, we'll grab Halil back now because he's back with us. And mate, you do what you got to do. You're committed to be still working and watching this, so thank you. But we're just watching now this third safety car period. And once again, it sort of leaves you hung out to dry, doesn't it? Because you've only made the one stop.
Yeah, it did. It did. I didn't learn the lessons in the first one, but again, there was just that point of the race where the strategy that I was on and the fuel numbers that I was looking at, trying to figure it all out. First race back, I should have pitted on that one. I looking back at the race, I was like, you know what, I would have went down the order a bit again, but at least I might have made it back. But it's one of those ones where you just sort of make those calls on the run and you get caught out with it, I guess.
And how are you looking for this whole season? You'll be able to commit to every race and try and, build a championship title?
Yeah, I'm here for this whole championship. That's a given. So.
It's good, isn't it? And I think we were just about to speak about the qualifying process and how far off Split 1 you were for this series.
So been away from the rig for about literally 6 months, so I hadn't even turned a lap. I got into, I think I qualified in 18th in Split 2, so I was a fair way off the pace, but I don't think I missed from my rookie season with vets. I didn't think I missed. I didn't even make out of split one out of the whole time I was part of it. So for that season and a bit, so
Yep.
I was a little bit disappointed. But the guys have picked up a lot of pace. Like there's some really fast guys that have joined, and guys that I used to battle with are, you know, if not faster or around thereabouts where I am. So look, I haven't lost too much, but they say when you're a racer for life. So you know, just got to dig in there and just put in the hours, and just focus on the season ahead, and hopefully me and the crew chief can put some surprise on this group, so I can see some possibly good results for me, and yeah, I'm going to be going for it. So
Yep. Now we just watched an interesting thing there. The safety car had to stop on the racetrack because there was a spun car in front of it. That's interesting. But yeah, I think one point out of all that, Halil, is the fact that the level has lifted over 3 or 4 seasons. It's incredibly high now. I mean, split one, we look at the times there in the top 10, you know, they're basically in the realms of Scops drivers now. It's, you know, it's the best of the best. We got Greg Favell, guys like that are actually racing in these top end E series and competing very, very well. So it's the level has increased with 125 or so competitors as well. And, you know, the cream at the top is so fast now.
yeah, it's like I said before, Luke, the fellas that have been around for a while, they've gotten even faster, and these new faces that I haven't seen before, which I've been following a little bit while I was at work, watching as many broadcasts as I can. It's just grown leaps and bounds with all the guys that have come along. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Hopefully, you know, as I was saying to me crew chief the other night, you know, James, I was saying, you know, possibly a couple of podiums this year in this series. So that's there. I just got to grab it and take it.
I reckon we'll see on some podiums. I think the good thing about this, and it's been like this for a couple of seasons now, they lock the splits. So you're in split 2 for 12 weeks. You know that. You know who you're fighting against. You know your competitors. You can iron out your strategies, and then you can really start to build a championship.
100%, and that's in a great way. I think it's a great way of doing it. So it takes away the pressure of trying to get each home each week after work and trying to sort it all out and hope that you make it. So you know who you're racing, which I like that. It's a bit more competitive in that way. So you know who you can focus and race with, and who you sort of stay away from as such, and that's, you know, just how racing goes in general. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the rest of this season. There's a couple of tracks coming up, so should be some really good racing.
Yeah, it's great to see you back, and the only downside to being in split 2 is we won't get to see the Cooler Master Cam and see the emotion out of you on the camera this season.
Oh yeah. The emotions, like I said, I wear me collar and sleeves and all that. But while I got a chance, I like to thank Cooler Master and Gear Seekers, and also Jermaine Best Bait and Tackle, who's jumped on board this year as well. So yeah, hopefully I'll do those sponsors a bit, you know, justice on what they've done for me. So
yeah,
that's what I'll be aiming for.
The car looks good, man. Loving the livery, and as you can see, the sponsors are on the car, and Halil doing them proud. So good luck, man. Obviously, we'll chat with you next week at the next round as well. But thanks for coming in for a chat tonight.
No worries. Thank you, Luke, for your time. Thanks again for the broadcast. You do a great job. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. See you, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Halil Caesar coming in for a chat there, and what a legend he is. So fantastic to be able to talk mid-race. Obviously, this isn't live. This is a replay file from Thursday night. We're Saturday night now. I'm in such a mess mentally about picking up which day of the week it is right now. Right, Saturday is done. I actually got back at 2 a.m. last night from Canberra and worked my day job all day, so that's why I'm a bit of a... oh, the safety car's gone in, which is good. We're back to green flag racing, lap 32. Enough about me. It's all about racing tonight, isn't it? It's nothing to do with me. I'm just the guy that is silly enough to do this on a Saturday night every week, as we see Tim Harris, Riali, Caesar, then Clarkey, McMillan hits up into 9th now with Weston on his tail. Look at Weston diving to the inside. He'll go up into 9th place now, and that was a great move. Aggressive on the restart. Scott Weston picks up a position. Kelleher as well, hung out to dry there a little bit. Sibra goes through, I think, on him. Now I'm seeing Heddershield fighting with Peter Latham, who's still 16 positions up in that racecraft entry. He's done a great job, hasn't he? So the 65 car continues to push forward. Fletcher Christian in behind him. These Old Mates and Sons cars not too far adrift from each other once again. There's Darren Goosey with Peter Kelleher. They go through the high-speed kink, then the braking zone where you try and straighten the car up, then to the right. Goosey stays in front at this point. Don't put it into the tyres there. You do come to a stop very, very quickly if you get that wrong. This is a tight-knit little battle here between Shannon McMillan, who we're on board with now, and Roy Clark. In behind them, you can see Chris Barrage have to dive out of the, almost getting into the back of the Banter Alliance racing car. He avoided the back of, and sideways just to boot. How good is this? These guys are pushing 10/10ths now as we are about maybe a lap or two off my prediction of when these, when they would have had to make their second stop. They no longer need to do that because they stopped under that third safety car period. It's Fry today, says Will Wilson. Yeah. Oh, Griffiths there. Oh, that's nice. Loving the little changes that they've made this season. That fishy car, doesn't that look great with the gold fish? It always reminds me, what is that? It reminds me of the an old computer game where the Alley Cat, I think it was, back in the 90s, when there was I can't remember what the game was about. It was about cats, but there was always those little fish skeletons everywhere. Obviously the cats enjoyed eating fish. Maybe the fishy guys like their fish as well. They just leave the little skeletons behind, but how angry is the fish? Nothing's as angry as the pity pit man though. Look at the man on the side of the pit bull machine. If I can find one. Sorry, not Pitbull, what am I talking about? Pecky Performance. Check out the Pecky Performance eyeballs, and I do miss, hello, into the fence. Big crash. Huge crash there for the Pecky Performance car of Christopher Blanchard. Could be another safety car, so just as we were giving the eyeballs a bit of a wrap, he's been put in the fence up on two wheels, and he rejoins in 31st place. And there you go. Big hit. He's straight on the blower to race control about that as well, and so he probably should be. We'll have a little geezer here at the replay, bottom of your screen, as he gets back up to racing speed. So who was the car that made the contact with him? It was just a little sneak down the inside, wasn't it? Just there. And there was an overlap, and there's the contact. So it was one of the old mate and sons cars that went down the inside, and Christopher Blanchard, a bit worse for wear there in the fence. Continued on though. Here's your race leader. The gap's only 0.4 of a second, so Rick Viger is really starting to put the screws or tighten the screws here on Hollis, who's been leading and looking quite comfortable to this point. Lap 34 and under pressure. Tim Harris as well, he's impressing. He's staying within 1.5 seconds of this little trio at the front. Little Caesar's right there as well, but sadly still yet to make his second pit stop. Surely must be pretty close to that point. He stopped on lap 18, I think it was, for his first stop. As Reg James now, I think, has crashed out. Where's Reg? He's just going up.
Race control, car's going through. Can you take a look at that?
So he's asked race control to have a look at that too. He's got some right-hand side damage on that car. So let's see how race control deem that one.
Lap 26, and 0.66, no further action.
Ray Morgan asking, is this over 40s or over 50s? Over 40s. They're veterans, you've got to be over the age of 40, you've got to prove it on your license, and once you've done that, you can be accepted into the series. 125 drivers registering for season number 12. We started broadcasting this on season number 7, and I'll quickly do the maths for you. We're up over 100 broadcasts now just for this series alone. And I can't believe we missed our 100th birthday. We were at 105 last round, so this is the 106th broadcast we've done for the V8 veterans since Series 7. So it's with the 2 splits, it's been quite a double up. 24 broadcasts every 12 weeks for these guys, but it's been some quality racing, and like Halil said before, we've got some interesting tracks we're going to in this series, so I'll run you through what we've got coming up, and hopefully I can just quickly show you the calendar here as well whilst I'm doing that. And that is our updated calendar, or is it not? Yes, it is. So Belle is the first round. We're at obviously on Thursday night. Then we go to Le Mans next week. So 22 laps around there, as they're still quite compact in this little battle we're watching now. Oran Park, well, that's going to be mayhem. We know that for a fact. Then Laguna Seca and Sandown. That'll be a big one on July 14th. I've seen some great racing from there. The sports sedans the other night was incredible to catch that. Oh, Westerns in the fence and dropping positions. After Sandown, we then go to Monza, Sebring, Phillip Island, Suzuka. 10 laps around the Nordschleife. Put that in your calendars. Imola and Alton Park, 47-lap final round of the series. So it's a great series, this one. Over the age of 40 drivers, 3 splits. Split 1 and 2 here on RACESTARS TV, and split 3 broadcast over at WKMP TV. Johnny does a great job over there. And they make it the driver's lounge, so people can just go in there, hang out, and chill out. Ray Morgan says, might have a crack next season. Loving the Roast to Rumble on Mondays. I'm Class B, deep in the midfield. Be great to have you in this when you're eligible, Ray. So your race leader, the top 3, in fact, there in your screen covered by, or on your screen covered by 1.2 seconds. So Tim Harris definitely just turning on the pace. Tyson with 100 stars. Hey Tyson, hope you're doing well, man, and enjoying your Saturday night. Hopefully having a couple of beers and relaxing as we I wouldn't mind just doing a bit of a crowd vote on this one. What do you think about this Tim Harris sitting in third, conserving fuel? His best lap time has been a 1:30.27, and pretty comparable to the top 2. So at the moment he's on for a podium, but he might just be sneaky here. He might have enough pace to challenge for maybe a win or P2. How much does he want to risk in this opening race when you're a rookie to the V8 Vets as well? Brand new to the series. In fact, 2 of the top 3 on debut here for the V8 Vets. And the man who's a veteran of the veterans, Rick Feiger, in the middle there for Angry Birds Racing, currently in this rookie sandwich. Will Wilson's going to come and join in season 33 and be the new People's Champion. There you go, Jamie. You got someone already talking up, knocking you off your throne. Ray reckons he's biding his time. I think he is too. Hollis may be just holding back slightly, but they've really come at him since that final safety car. It's, I think it's on for the top 3. Then we go back to Halil. 5 seconds off the lead. You can see him in the background there. He's not going to be able to challenge these 3, and he still needs to make that second pit stop. So the pit strategy, as you can see on the board now, Halil's cut it completely in half, and surely lap 19 he can push probably another 5 or so laps before he's going to be out of fuel. But it will be then a splash and a dash and a run to the end for him. The other driver that's been caught out in that is Heddershield. It's showing him as only 1 pit stop too, but my display here is showing, oh no, it has made 2, so you can see he stopped at that last safety car, which Halil probably should have done as well. So Heddershield's fuel to the end. He's currently in 12th, trying to make his way back into this after what was a good opening account, good couple of laps at the start, but that first safety car period really hurting him. The driver I've been watching just on and off throughout the race, this man Peter Latham in the Shadow Racing Racecraft entry car, just challenging Craig Healy now. This is for 16th, and Latham's up 16 positions. Gresh behind him's up 11, and Peter Kelleher as well up 16 spots in 15. Those 2 drivers having an incredible race. The man who's the biggest mover and shaker though, Rick Sibra, Frog racing car, currently running in 9th place. Let's jump on board with him, seeing he's doing so well, and we'll ride a lap here with Visor Cam. So applying the pressure. Good ride on board with him there, and 30 positions he's made up as Halil does stop now. That'll bring him up 32 spots now. In fact, Rick Seabra up into 7th. Caesar in the lane will drop all the way back, sadly. Outside the top 20, I would say, as Rick's up on 2 wheels again, pushing extremely hard. He's now on the back of Roy Clark, and Clark up 8 positions is trying to challenge this man, Shannon McMillan, up 10 into the top 5. Big congratulations to Peter Latham too, as Peter Kelleher has just reminded us that 100 stars for him tonight. So congratulations, Pete Latham. That puts him in veteran status, 100 stars, and having an incredible race. So well done. Hollis, definitely no rookie to the V8s, can drive this thing well, says Tyson. And yeah, he's a rookie to the V8 veterans, first race in this class. But yeah, as Tyson says, he's got some skills and showing it all tonight. 7/10 in the lead. Lap 40, 13 to go, 13 and a half to go, or 14 in fact if you count the lap we're on. So 13 at the end of this one. Reg James has been around in the wars a bit tonight, but he's racing nicely here with Matt McMillan. Remember, Matt was involved in that crash with Quaney earlier in the race, which cost him plenty of time. Now he's back in 25th place, just trying to hold out some invaluable points back here in the bottom end of the field. We've still got, I think it's 36 drivers still running, which is decent. I love the fact we've got these huge grids for season 12. Last season, I think split 2 was generally around 26 to 27 drivers, especially in the latter half of the season. But it looks like we're going to get the full 40 out there most weeks, trying to do battle. Tata show. Clark having a look here, just puts the nose to the back quarter panel of Simon Pitt. Luckily backed out, otherwise I think he would have replicated more damage to the other door of that car. That brings Scott Weston back in with the challenge now as well. Kelleher on the back of him, on board now with Peter Kelleher since he's sim racing. There goes this tussle in front. Oh, did Weston make contact there with Pitt? Pitt's hit the fence hard. I think he was trying to just avoid it more than anything, but he made massive contact with the concrete fence. Stephen Gretsch is just dropping back too. Now what's happened to him? He's okay. It was his internet must have dropped. Back with your race leader out in front, lap 42 now, 53. We will speak to the top 3 hopefully at the end of the broadcast. There's Gary Buckland currently down in 23rd place. He's up 18 spots tonight, so whilst he's outside the top 20, that's a great little drive. He's got plenty of damage on the front left-hand corner there, Anita. But great forward movement tonight. Like I said, 18 positions after starting down near the back of the grid. And he's about 8 seconds off the back of 22nd, so he'll probably settle in now for the final 10 or so laps of this race and just try and finish in 23rd. He's got these two not too far behind. Now they're looking pretty aggressive. Matty Monday is missing plenty of panels, and Matt McMillan is looking very racy behind him. I think Buckland just went a little bit deep into the braking zone and then left a big cloud of smoke behind. We'll stay on board here with Matt McMillan for a moment as he really challenges and pushes to try and get past Monday's shortened version of a ZB Commodore. So your race leader, Roderick Hollis, now up 2 positions in this race, has the lead out to 1.8 seconds, and I think just starting to apply a little bit more speed. He's just done a 1:31.0, which was about 3/10 quicker than Harris and about 2/10 quicker than Viger on the previous lap. He's blown that margin out slightly. Simon Pitt still battling with Peter Kelleher. This is for 12th place in the race. 2 very good, hard-fighting competitors. Not too far off a top 10 if they can keep it out of the fence, which he just clobbers the wall again. There's Peter Kelleher. He got a big tank slapper on, and he hit the fence on the right-hand side. Then he's bounced back across. Simon Pitt was able to sneak through, and that'll need some panel work. Here's Reg James still fighting with Matthew Monday. That street stocker, that's what Jacob Neasley called it. It looks a bit like a street stocker. It's missing all off. I saw a fender bender on the back of a trailer last night coming back from Canberra, and it looked just like that. Big shout out to our admin team. They continue to do such hard work. I know Martin Lofthouse as well. Big thanks to him tonight driving the safety car. He's been out there a few times to intervene when there's been crashes, and he's done a good job getting everyone sorted and lined up, ready to race again. We're on board with Robbie Griffiths now, who's challenging, having a look here at Chris Barrage. He's going to sneak through down the inside. Hello, hello. He takes that position away from him. So P9 now for Griffiths. Fishy Motorsport up another spot. Chris Barrage sadly down into the top 10 now. We're down to 10th place with that overtake run and done. Gary Buckland, Old Mate and Sons driver, under a bit of pressure now from Matt McMillan. Let's run on board with Gary because I know Anita's watching and enjoying this one. So here's the Old Mates and Sons, number 9, trying to fend off the 22, Matthew McMillan. That great K or WKMP livery. They're pretty precise, aren't they, through those corners, so close to the walls. It hurts if you hit them. You can see the damage on the guards. Gary Buckland is pushed in around that left-hand side. Oh, with the back ends complaining as he snatches a break. He just hangs on for this moment. Anyway, there's our little drone camera down there watching this little infield section. I think Matt McMillan's about to find a way through here. He gets a bit of an overlap on the corner exit. He'll try and stay down the inside for the next little right-hander. Be a little bit sketchy. He has stayed in there, and Buckland's given him plenty of room as well, so some generous driving there. Box of beers to hold it down. McKnight is the GOAT. I'm trying to read all your comments here. No JDs. No JDs or JDs? JDs are great. JDs are going down well. In the background you can see Halil Caesar as well, trying to fight his way back into this. That pit strategy hurt him badly tonight. And Christopher Blanchard not too far behind this battle as well. But Halil at the moment, his best lap time of 1:30.1. He's about 8/10 quicker than Matt Monday in front on outright paper alone. Monday locking another tyre as he goes through the left, through the staircase here. Reminds me of Adelaide, this part of the circuit. And Halil right on his bumper as he exits now down the back straightaway, or if you want to call it a back kink away. And he goes to the inside, positions the car well to get the move done into the right-hander, so Halil should make that fit, and he does. Nice overtake, textbook style. Oh, contact as well out there. That was Matty McMillan in the fence and going very slowly, so McMillan's in a bit of trouble now too. Drops a heap of positions back to 26th after clobbering the fence down there, and that sounds a little bit terminal for him at this stage as we go back to your race leader on lap 47. there's a bit going on out there in the back play. We've got this battle with Reg, Monday, Buckland. It's this is outside of the top 20, and they're fighting like it's for a world championship. Down the inside, Reg James with the big send, and good overtake. Look at Monday. He sees the door open, goes through as well. So they're attacking now. James under pressure from Monday, who gets through, and good little sequence of corners there. Now James is going to fight back on the inside. Into the fence in the background was Buckland, I think. He's just hit the wall again, and Monday, I think, has stayed in front just of Reg James. So great little sequence of corners. These competitors not giving up outside of the top 20, and here goes Reg James back at him. He's on the wrong side though for the right-hander, so you can see the pass missing. In fact, you can see through the window. Oh, he's going to get through here, is he? They almost bang doors again. So the fishy motor racing car of Matthew Monday, the fender bender out there hanging on. Just let's go back to this battle now for 5th, and Heddershield's got himself back now into the top 5. That's a remarkable recovery considering what he's been through tonight. Remember that he was wrong-footed by the strategy at the start. Now he finds himself back, at least getting some really good points in this opening round affair. So Heddershield 5th, then Sibra 6th, and McMillan 7th. I've got a feeling I'm probably saying Rick's name wrong, but I'm sure he'll be able to tell me if I am. As we see once again Goosey now and McMillan fight, and here goes Robbie Griffiths. He's been on the scene when did he hit the fence there? That was so close.
Caution at exit at turn 11.
We got a car crash at turn 11. Now who's that? Not getting any indicators of anyone off the track here. Oh, there it is. This one. Oh no, it's Tim Harris. Can you believe?
Sorry, Robert.
Oh, Tim Harris was doing so well tonight, on for a podium.
Go left, Simon.
And it's, well, in the end, it's been heartache. He's going to drop outside of probably the top 20 or even 30, because it's such an awkward place to spin the car around there. And the whole field going through. Lap 49, I don't think we'll get a safety car this late. So he can now reverse the car. He's got a big gap now to try and turn this thing around. He's got 56 or so seconds, or according to my relative, which is not so accurate when two cars go straight through. So yeah, look at all the cars going through behind him. He's just going to have to sit there for what will feel like an eternity until he gets some clear track to reverse and do a bit of a flick spin. So from a podium to basically last in the race, that is heartache. Dave Bordock just giving us a bit of information. They apparently had a wheel failure. So his wheel has failed on the car, and that will put him out of this race, sadly.
093, you're okay at the moment?
Let's listen in. So that was race control asking if 03 was okay. And with a wheel failure, he probably can't reset the car either, or use his push to talk to the race officials. So he's just going to have to sit there now until he gets the wheel reset or escape out. But there is implications for escaping, because you can get yourself some penalties later on for doing that. Gee whiz, some people have got loud voices. So anyway, no safety car, lap 50 or 53. Car has been cleared off the racetrack, and sadly for Tim Harris, that's him out of this race. Shannon McMillan, P8, doing a lovely job. Barrage and Pitt are in the pits. Very late pit stop for them, obviously miscalculated fuel or have some damage. But that's going to put them outside of the top 20 as well. So Hollis has had a bit of pressure taken off him. Rick Viger still holding on to second, the gap 1.3 seconds between them. And Riali now moves himself up into third, but the gap between Hollis and Viger and Riali is a whopping 15 or so seconds. So the top two look pretty comfortable. Riali's got Heddersfield, who's closing in very, very quickly in these last couple of laps. So the last lap for him was a 1:31.3. That was a whole second quicker than Riali. So it's going to be only a lap and a half until he's right on his tail and ready to attack. So for Mario, can he hang on for a podium tonight with only 2 laps to go at the end of this one? It's going to be very, very close coming into the final lap. Has he held back enough to just be able to attack and defend when he needs to? Let's see what the time is as they cross the line now. It's 2.1 seconds between them. That lap time there for Reali, a 1:31.7. It was a 1:30.9. So once again, he took about 8 tenths out of him on the lap. So a second on the lap before, 8 tenths on that lap. The gap now right on 2.1 and holding firm. So keep an eye on those two. In fact, we've got 3 to go because this is lap 51, 52 and 53. There you go. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so over at, we're on TaipanEvents on YouTube. So you can like and follow us on Facebook and subscribe on Twitch as well. If you want to keep up with all the racing action that goes on here at RACESTARS TV, we've got next week Roads to Rumble on Monday, which will be fun as always. And then we've got, let me have a quick look at my calendar. We've got Sports Sedans coming back with a Bathurst 1-hour race next Wednesday night. And then, of course, V8 Veterans will be on Thursday and Friday night, maybe delayed till Sunday. I'll let you guys know before I then head off to Brisbane on Saturday. So we'll see how we go with that one. But yeah, it's the first couple of weeks of this season, as I told Ben Anthony about 6 months ago, is always going to be a little bit awkward with my travel arrangements at the moment. Lap 52 or 53, it's coming down to the wire, and for Hollis, it is looking like he's going to take maximum points in this opening round of season number 12, can you believe? The M1 racing car of Darren Crosby, 14th place. Matt McMillan, a couple of wounded cars clipping the fence again for McMillan. Trying to bring it home in 13th place. Nice little battle though between them. So I have to do a bit of sim racing research on this guy, Roderick Hollis. Obviously been around for a while. He's now old enough to race up here in the top split. Will Wilson says, do you broadcast from the hot tub on Twitch? I sure do. We do the hot tub Friday night special. How someone hasn't been electrocuted broadcasting from their hot tub, I do not know. I'm not sure if that would lift the quality of the entertainment or degrade from the quality of entertainment, but isn't it a shame that Twitch went that way? I can't believe that when I started seeing that rubbish pop up. White flag, 1 lap to go here for Hollis. He's looking good to bring it home for a win tonight. He's made up 2 positions in the race. He hasn't had to work super hard in this second half of the race. The hard work was done earlier on. He got the strategy right, which, as we quickly look at that and just reaffirm, he stopped on that first safety car. The top 3 jumped in at the first safety car, lap 7. They went through then to lap 21, where we had another safety car. I think it was the 3rd safety car at that point. And then they've been able to bring it home nicely from there. But header shield in 4th there. He'll look at that pit strategy board and he'll think, dear, that's where it all was won and lost tonight, because he has the lap speed in that car with a 1:29.6. I think the only driver, and I'll just confirm that, yes, the only driver to go into the 1:29s in the race, and it was a mid 1:29 as well. So about 4 tenths quicker ultimately than anyone else out there. But if you don't get the strategy right, well, it can become a bit nasty. Will subbed, very good. Here we go, a couple of corners to go for Roderick Hollis and Frog Leaped Juice Racing Team. He's going to take a win. The checker flag's going to drop, and he does it in style. Fantastic job, and congratulations on a round 1 win. Flashes the headlights, crosses the line ahead of Rick Feiger. That's great work for Rick, who gives us all that information week in, week out, and we'll get to thank him in person tonight. Reali, Maria's hung on in the end from Heddershield, who I thought was going to be quick enough to catch him, but Mario had saved a little bit in the tank, and he gets himself a podium for HSR. Great job. Reali on the podium. Header shield, well, like I said, the strategy played against him tonight. Rick Sibra finishes 5th ahead of Goosey, who gets 6th place. There is Griffiths coming across the line in 7th. He makes up 10 spots for that. Craig Healy will finish in 8th place. Peter Latham just behind him in his 100th race. 24 spots up into 9th. That's incredible. And Steve Gretsch rounds out your top 10. We're going to do some interviews shortly. We'll wrap it all up here on RACESTARS TV. Hopefully the top 3 are hanging out ready for a chat. We'll go and find out. Here's your winner, Frederick Hollis. Fantastic job tonight. Let's go and grab him now into the green room and bring him across to the main room and have a chat, because as we bring up the full points and the full results as well shortly, we've got to say that was an interesting way to kick off round number 1 of this brand new series. Congratulations, Roderick, mate. Well done.
Thanks a lot. That was a really good race.
Good to have you in the V8 Vets, man, and obviously it's you're showing some form straight away, and the rest of the competitors here in Split 2 are probably thinking, oh my gosh, who is this guy? Tell us a little bit about your history of sim racing, man.
Well, iRacing, I've only been on for about 2.5 years on iRacing. Started out on Forza.
Yep.
I made it to 98th place in the 2018 Forza World Champions.
Wow.
And then I bit the bullet and switched over to here.
Well, you made it look easy tonight, and I think that first strategy call to come in at the first pit stop really worked well for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've raced a few of the guys in the officials, and definitely that pit strategy definitely worked in my favour.
Well, great job, man, and thanks for coming in for a chat. We'll come back to you shortly for some thank yous. Rick, mate, first of all, well done, P2 tonight, but also a massive thank you for your ongoing information you give me each week, mate. It's so appreciated, and it's so good to see you on the podium. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Luke. It's a good way to start the season. And there's plenty of quick guys in this split this season, and needed to get off to a good start, and hopefully I can get to speak to you on many more occasions.
I hope so too. And how was the race out there? You just sort of settled in. You're doing a 1 minute 30 almost flat was your best lap time, so that's pretty comparable. In fact, that was quicker than the race winner's ultimate lap speed.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. It was good. I could catch up to Roderick and tried to put a little bit of pressure on him, but found it pretty hard to stay close. It was so easy to make little mistakes when you were right up close, and I didn't want to throw it away and put it in the fence. So I sort of thought to myself before the start, finish top 5 and start the season strong. So I was happy with P2. I tried to push him as hard as I could, and when we first come back onto that last safety car, he made a couple of little mistakes, like little breaks. I thought, a little bit of pressure, you never know what can happen, but didn't think I was quick enough to make a pass on the track unless he made a mistake. So I just was pretty happy to sit there and finish second.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Let's do some thank yous. And Mario hasn't joined us, but congratulations, Mario, on P3. Let's go to Roderick for the win tonight. Who would you like to thank, mate?
I'd like to thank all the sponsors, because definitely wouldn't be racing without them. Juiced Energy, All Ports Gaming, the Petrol Company, FH Creative, and Precision Sim Training.
Congratulations, mate. Fantastic to take the win in round 1. And P2, Rick, who would you like to thank, mate?
Racecraft, AA West Automotive, Ben Anthony and all the guys from V8 Vets, Race Control, that put all the hard work into getting this all organised, and you yourself, Luke, for the broadcast.
Thanks, mate. Hopefully we can find ourselves a split 1 file to do tomorrow night. So thanks for jumping in tonight, boys, and great racing. We're looking forward to see you next week for a big one at Le Mans.
Thanks, Luke.
Cheers, boys. That's your top 2. We didn't get to speak to Mario, but Roderick Hollis, your winner tonight, with a fantastic job done over Rick Viger and Mario Reali, your top 3. Simon Hedgeshield just missing out. Here are the final results for race number 1 for Split 2 here in Season 12. And you can see there some great finish by all the competitors. We'll quickly flick through it And Hill Caesar finished 17th in the end. He'll be just reviewing his strategy, of course, going forward from here, as many of them will. Dave Baldock, 28th. We didn't see a lot of Dave tonight, but big thanks to Dave. Without him, we wouldn't have had the replay file, so thank you, sir. And, well, that's all we got time for tonight. Until next time, there's your race winner, bringing it home in style. And do we get a burnout? Yeah, we do. What a way to finish. Roderick Hollis, your race winner for the first round. Congratulations. Thanks, everyone, tuning in tonight. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for Split 1 if we can get that file off someone. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Split 2. Take care. Good night.